I was talking over with the boys. Do we really have to do a video on this wine? I mean, I think we just did the video as an excuse to open one and drink it. Y'all kind of know the drill at this point on this one, don't you? One of the greatest Chardonnay values, maybe the greatest Chardonnay value on the planet. Year after year after year after year. Downright boring. Not. Really hard to keep this wine at this quality level for as long as the El Enemigo team, Alejandro Vigil and Adriana Catena, have done. It is, once again, one of the greatest Chardonnay values on the planet. I guess the big question is why? Why is this such a good value? Well, a number of reasons. First of all, the vineyards. Their fabulous Chardonnay vineyard up on Waltalgerie, serious elevation, 4,200 foot, whatever. These white, rocky, stony soils. This is the same as we allude to in the piece. This is the same overall vineyard where the famous 100-point Catena White Stones and White Bones Chardonnays come from. Maybe not the exact same parcels, but close by, in the area. This is one of the greatest Chardonnay vineyards on the planet. It's every year hammered, multiple critics, bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. All taste like Grand Cru Chardonnay, all taste like Grand Cru Burgundy, all serious, beautiful wines that Catena's making. And Alejandro does poach some really nice fruit from that vineyard for this incredible value wine. So you got this great vineyard, you got elevation, you got acidity, you have, we just talked about in the previous video, diurnal temperature shifts. You got all this stuff that's set up to make beautiful Chardonnay. Then on top of that, you got the skill of Alejandro himself, one of the greatest winemakers in the world. And what he does, he does a little something different on this wine, which is less pronounced than it was early on. Earlier versions of Enemigo had a little more this stronger kind of like Jura-like quality to them, this floor yeast character that he introduces into the wine for complexity. And I would say it was a more intense character in the early days of this wine. And now I feel like the wine's backed off a little from this floor character, although you still feel it a little bit in the aromatics. And now it's moving towards more like a Junior Stones or Bones style, which also is not a bad thing. So a slight shift. I feel a little more richness of fruit in the mid palate. The earlier versions were a little nervier, a little more taut, and the tension's here in this wine, but I also feel it's, for want of a better word, a touch fruitier in the mid palate. Still bone dry, not fruity like sweet, stop, yeah. But, just a little richer core fruit in the mid palate in these wines now. And this bottle's showing better even than the other bottle that we tasted a few weeks back when we first tasted the wine on release. Here, you get the saltiness of Waltalgerie. Here, you get I get even a little more vibrant mid palate. That fruit is still maintaining. And then at the end, you get a little kick of that floor yeast character a la the Jura, a la Ganevat and Labay and all these guys. That's there, but it's really well integrated now. This might be one of the best Enemigos yet. And not because because the earlier Enemigos were almost more like a caricature. We have the floor, we got the acidity, we got the and this wine's just more, right? A little more serious wine. Absolutely gorgeous bottle of Chardonnay for the low 20s. For the money, it is still one of the greatest Chardonnay values on the planet. Guys, only 97 points for Suckling this year. Aw, so low. But a big 94 plus score from Luis Gutierrez. So here's the other beauty. This is how you know you're making great wine. You got Jim Suckling, who likes his wines, used to like his wines, a little richer. Now he's trending back the other way. He's got a bunch of kids reviewing for him now, so now everything has that freshness and da-da-da-da-da. So he's kind of trending back towards this wine, but he likes a more gratuitous style of wine usually. And then you got Luis Gutierrez, who's a bit of a masochist, likes these wines that, and so when you got those two cats agreeing on a wine at this level, with those kind of numbers for them, it's really remarkable and lets you know that the wine in the bottle is world class and borderline unbeatable for the money. So there you go. The new El Enemigo Chardonnay is amazing. Again, still a ridiculous value, still getting huge scores, and they're still making a fair bit of it. We have access to this wine, so buy, and buy again.